Hi, my name is Molly. I'm a visual artist in Milwaukee, and today I'm going to be making a paper mache vase video for y'all to follow along with. Basically, making a paper mache vase is 3 steps. 1, cutting out your cardstock paper and taping it all together. 2, using paper mache paste and printer paper or newspaper or newsprint to add paper mache to the form of the vase. And 3, painting. So then it looks cute like this one at the end. Before you start this project in any way, make sure that you have a surface that you can work on and get kind of messy. So like lay down some newspaper or some paper bags or plastic bags or something, so you don't, get your table all messy. And you're going to need, for this first step, you're going to need your cardstock paper, scissors, and tape. You can use Scotch tape, you can use painter's tape. I've been using a tape that's like this, and then also a pen or pencil. That's what you're going to need to get started, and along the way I'll tell you what types of different materials you'll need for each different step. Cool? Alright, let's get started. So I'm just starting by cutting out a vase shape out of a piece of paper like this. If you just have an 8.5 by 11 by sheet of paper, that's cool too. You can use 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. And then after I drew this one, you can kind of see the lines where I sort of drew the shape that I wanted. After I drew this one, I laid it down directly on top of the sheet of paper that I was working on and traced it again so we have like 2 even sides that are exactly the same of your vase. Now I'm going to cut this new traced second side of my vase out. So after your 2 pieces are cut out of the cardstock, the thicker paper, you're just going to want to set those aside. Pick up another sheet of cardstock and cut a few strips of 3-inch wide paper using a ruler. It doesn't have to be 3 inches, but I sort of like the 3 inches because then you're going to have a thicker or wider vase, just a bigger vase altogether. So I cut 2 strips for now, and if we need more, then you can cut some more. So after these 2 pieces are cut, you're going to turn them horizontal, like end to end, lay them down, and then you're going to tape them together, like overlap them like this, and then tape them together right along the crease. You want to make sure that you're taping them together straight, not so like they're wonky like this. You want them to line up with each other. Okay, so I taped this on one side, and then on the other side you can see that there's still a crease because we overlapped it, so you just want to tape the other side as well. So now that I have these 2 long pieces taped together, I also put a piece of tape, as you can tell, on the side of the piece of paper, and then I also cut like little slits in it, probably every inch or so, like this. That will be easier when we start to attach this to our vase shape. Instead of having it all be one piece, it'll kind of make sense when we start to attach it to the vase shape, but just a reminder, like when you cut these, so please cut some slits in the tape that you attach to your long strip of paper, but when you cut these, don't cut into the paper, just cut into the tape. So now we're going to tape this piece to this piece, okay? You want to put this sticky side up on your working table and then put this sideways. And you want to line up this corner with the corner of your long piece of paper and also with the side of the tape. So I'm lining this up right here. It's going to be kind of weird because it's a circle. And I just pull the tab up and attach it to the vase. You kind of want to rotate it like this. See how I'm rotating it? Pull the tab up, stick it to the vase. Rotate again so you're flat. Stick it to the vase. Kind of see where I'm going here. This part is kind of hard, so if you have an older sibling or a parent around to help you, that might be cool. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna do like a retaping when we're done. This is just like a base layer. So you see how when I started it was like this and now it's like this? That's a good thing. When you get to a part where it's like really deep, then I'll set it up like this. Push it in, put the tab down again. And you see right now we have extra, so now we're just gonna cut the top of this piece off. Sort of right there. Now we have two sides of our vase connected. Okay, so I just made one more strip again with the tabs on the side and again taped in the middle. And then we're going to do the exact same thing just on the other side of the vase. So I'm lining up the corner of the vase with the corner of the strip of paper and also the tape tabs, corner to corner. So I just did the same thing for this side. So now it's connected on 3 different creases. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna do the last one where I taped, cut the slits, and then you can just lay it flat like this and sort of push the tabs down. That's what I did with the last one. I'll do a fast video of it so you can see time lapse. Okay, so now we have like sort of almost a full vase. We just have to do the last part, which is the bottom. So just take your vase form, put it on just another piece of cardstock, the thick paper. Put it on top like this, and then trace it. Now your paper, the vase that you're tracing, it's gonna move a little bit, so be really gentle when you're tracing. Like, don't like push a lot, just like really lightly trace. So I have a loose idea of what the bottom is like. I'm gonna cut this out, tape it on. So for this piece, you don't have to make the tabs. We just made the tabs because there's like a wave right here. And so if we tried to just like flatten the tape, like tape it on, it just wouldn't work. It would get all like smushed and it wouldn't be cute. So this one, because it's straight and you're putting it on a straight bottom, then you can just you don't need to cut the tabs. Flip your vase over, put it on top, line it up with the bottom of the vase as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to paper mache over the top. We just want to make sure it's connected. And then I taped the sides like this, boop, boop. And then tape this side to the vase. You might have to stick your hand inside like this and then tape it down, push on both sides like this, and then do the same thing on this side. Zoop. Zoop. Okay. Cute. Okay, so now we're gonna make our paper mache paste. I just have a bowl of water and some flour. So basically you just want to take some flour with your hands. You could do it the other way. You could put the flour in first and then the water, but just the way our studio is set up, I put the water in first. You just want to keep putting some in and then take like a fork or a spoon or something, mix it up, stir it up. I'm gonna need like a lot of flour to make this into a paste, so I'm just gonna add like a big chunk. You can also add a little bit of glue if you want, but it's not completely necessary as long as you have the right texture of paper mache paste. And also, like, I'm gonna have leftover paper mache paste, so if you have leftover like me, I've like wrapped it up and kept it for a couple days, so you can do some more paper mache with it later. Don't keep it for super long because that's like, I think it'll get kind of gross. But if you like put it in the fridge or something, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, this is starting to look a little more like how I want it. You can put your fingers in, feel it, and see if there are like, this looks kind of gross, but like clumps in it. You want to break up the clumps. This is almost how I want it. Just add a little bit more. You want it to look just like pancake batter. Pretty good. You can kind of, it's hard to show you, but looks like this. Kind of gross, but it'll be fun once we get started. Once you have your paper mache paste, sort of like, you want it like a little thick, but still runny. You guys are going to be smarter than I am, and you're going to have your paper like all ripped in strips already, but I didn't do that, so I have this big like roll of paper. I'm just gonna rip off a couple strips, dunk it completely in the paper mache, sort of like squeegee it out, and then place it on my vase structure. Like this, and then you smooth it out, and it'll stick by itself because that's what paper mache does. You want to make sure it's like flat to the surface, no bubbles or anything. You can even spread some of the extra paste out. This paper is just like, it's really thin, almost like newsprint, but you can just use like regular printing paper, or you can use actual newspaper, like if you have leftover newspaper, leftover magazines, things like that. Like any type of scrap paper, any type of thin scrap paper, that's what you can use for your paper mache. And so I'm just going to keep doing this over and over again until my entire vase, the outside and maybe like a little bit on the top, is covered with the paper mache, paper and paste. Okay, so I finished paper macheing, like cutting up all those pieces, tearing all those pieces, dipping them in the paper mache paste, putting them on the vase. This is what it looks like when it's dry. So I put all the pieces on, also on the bottom. Don't forget about the bottom. I didn't really put any inside. If you wanted to, you can, like just around the top. That's cool, but if not, no big deal. You can see I kind of didn't get all the corners exactly right. I would encourage that you do get all the corners, but I'm in my studio right now. It's really hot, so this is the best I can do right now. This is the best you can do right now, that's cool too. You can see it's okay, you can hear rather, it's pretty sturdy now. Like when you knock on it, it's like a structure now instead of just like the floppy paper. I just did one layer of the paper mache, and that should be good for what you're using it for. You should be able to like put whatever you want in here, and it will stay exactly how it is, especially after we paint it. So I'm just going to put one layer of like white paint on here, because I like to do that, or I might do like a light pink actually, just as like a base color. You can choose whatever color you want, but just know that if you might have to do a couple layers, so that the paper, if you use a different color paper or newspaper, that you might have to do a couple layers so that it doesn't show through the painting, you know? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so I painted this. I just did like a light pink so you can't see the brown paper anymore. And now I'm like pretty much done. I'm just gonna paint and draw some flowers on here because that's what I want to do. I might do a couple of other things, just like I want to do the fire emoji. I don't know. So I'm just gonna like paint those all over my vase. You can use paint. Try not to use like a watercolor. It just like won't stay as well. Use like an acrylic or like a tempera paint. Something like more plasticky than like watery. Same when you're painting the base. Don't add a lot of water to the paint that you're using because it'll make your vase like sort of floppy again, and we don't want that. We want it to be like really sturdy. So yeah, I'm gonna start painting. Another thing is you can also use, like now that we have a base layer on here of paint, you can draw with marker or colored pencil and see how it goes. It should look just fine. So if you feel more comfortable using like markers and colored pencils, that's cool too. All right. Alright, so I finished my vase paintings. I just sort of like did whatever I want and I'm really happy about it. You can do like one big drawing. You can also look up different vases online. This is like really sturdy, so you should be able to put whatever you want in here. And then also I know my friend Linnea Sproles is making, doing like a flower workshop with y'all, like a paper flower workshop. So you can also put those in your vase too. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about paper mache. You can do this with a bunch of different forms, as long as you have some type of like really like thick paper to work from and build a form off of. You can pretty much like make anything with paper mache, which I love, and it's also a really inexpensive material that you can save and use again. In terms of like saving your paper mache paste, I just like I put it in a Tupperware container, put it in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning maybe add some more water and stir it up, and then you should be ready to use it again. Yeah, that's all. Happy making, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you for my office hours. Bye.